pulling down the heavens. You're going to reach up, breathe in, and then breathe out. Take the energy you got from heaven, push it to the abdomen. Breathe in, breathe out, and breathe in, breathe out. Okay, once again, I just want to remind everybody, we're not there. You have to take care of yourself. So you're in charge of your body. We're going to show you movements. They shouldn't cause you any pain. If they're causing you any pain, you should pull off. Plus, if you have any kind of restrictions, or for instance, you have a shoulder problem and I tell you to reach for the ceiling, just go to whatever is comfortable for you. So you have to be aware of what you're doing. The only other thing is, if you have any blood pressure conditions, you don't want to, when you go down, like if you have high blood pressure, had a stroke, or low blood pressure, you don't want to put your head below your heart, because then when you come up, you can pass out. And like I said, we're not there unless you've got one of the little buttons to help people come. You have to take care of yourself. So what we do is we start out by warming up from the inside out. Instead of doing jumping jacks, we want to get it so that our body can heat from the inside out. We do that with breathing and holding positions. What we're going to do is we're working on our tendons. So we're going to have our feet about shoulder width apart. We want our knees slightly bent, so our glutes and our lower body, they're somewhat tense. You should feel it. You can feel your legs, the seizing, and then you want to put pressure on your tendons. So now we're trying to stretch them a little bit. What we're going to do is we're going to hold up. Actually, we're in the spring, so that's the wood time of year, the wood energy time of year. Everything's exploding, and so things are growing up. So we stand. This is called standing like a tree. So what we're doing here is just going to breathe in. We're going to breathe in slowly. You want to breathe with your abdomen. Now, your chest, you want to breathe with your abdomen, and we're going to breathe in slowly 3 times just to get things going. And then we're going to breathe in fast 20 times. If you can, breathe in through your nose, but if you have any kind of problems, you can breathing in your mouth. We're trying to warm up our body. So here we go. So we're going to breathe in, breathe out, shoulders relax, your elbows are down. Breathe in, breathe out, and then breathe in, breathe out. So here we go. Okay, that was 20. Remember, when we breathe in, relax your stomach, we're trying to also push out the kidneys, so we're trying to expand this, and when you breathe out, you want to have your navel go to your spine, you want to pull in your ribs, and you want to pull up your perineum and push down your diaphragm, so you're now compacting your internal organs, giving them a massage to heat them up. Okay, that was the first position. Now what we're going to do is, we're going to go down, we're going to do some more breathing, but what you want to do is, we're going to go down, but just go down as long as you can stay pretty straight. You don't want to do this. So we're coming down, and then however low you can go, we're still comfortable, but we're putting a little more pressure on our lower body. You have your feet, you can put your feet a little further apart. Okay, so here we go. So we're going to go, and we're going to do also, I'm going to do 20 breaths also. So here we go. I'm going to go down. Remember, just go down to what's ever comfortable, but we're trying to heat our body up. So here we go. Okay, then we're going to come up. So now what we're going to do is we're going to try to warm up our knees. We're going to be going up. We're going to breathe in to come up. And as we breathe out, we have our hands go down. We're just going to drop down. So now we're working our calves, strengthening our ankles, and once again try to warm up internally. So we're going to breathe in, breathe out, breathe out. Now we're going to sink down, and now we're going to hold for 9 breaths. Okay, then we're going to come up. Okay, so hopefully you're starting to feel a little bit warmed up. We're going through the basic postures that you need to do martial arts and Tai Chi and Qigong. The next one is, it's called a Ba stance. That's because in Ba means 8 in Chinese. The number 8 is written by these two 45-degree strokes. So what you do is you want your feet at 45 degrees, and whenever you bend down, you want your knees to go in the direction of your big toe. So what happens here is you bend, see, because they're at 45, my knees would come together. But if you're just starting, what we're trying to do here, as well as warm up, what we want to do is, in the movements that we do, we want to build up all these various different groups, muscle groups, so that if something happens, all of a sudden you fall and you need that group to keep you stable if you haven't used it, and all of a sudden it does. You can rip it, so that's what the practice is for. So one thing you can do if you're just starting is you can just stand at Ba, and like you can hold something together, or if you don't have anything, you just don't want to pull your knees in. Your knees are going straight, and because they're at 45, they go together. So you're not, if you pull them in, you're going to hurt the outside of your knee. So you're here, so you can hold this. This is what we'll do right now. Go in the middle. Oh, okay, look at that. All right. So what we're going to do 9 more breaths, and we want to be, like I said, we're building up the inside here. So we're going to breathe. So that's building up the inside. Now we've been squeezing in. What we want to do is we're going to put your feet out now. And now, see, we're opening up. Now we're opening up this. We're trying to get blood fluid, but once again, because we're having our feet apart, we're trying to use that area. So here we go. Breathe in. Okay, and we've got one more, and then we're actually going to start our lesson. We're going through a set of movements called 8 Brocades, which are stretching for the spring. We still want to warm up a little bit more. What we're doing is we're going to put the back foot at 45. This is going to build up the strength in your legs, your ankles, because the other foot you're going to lift up. So this foot's 45. All your weight's on there, because of course, like when you climb steps and things, you're going to have it where there's a minute where you actually have all the weight on one leg as you shift over, and you're going to have it on the other. So to build this up, this is why these build up. You're going to take the other foot, and you're going to just, like there's a bathtub, and you're just going to test the hot water so your toe comes down. This is called an empty stance because there's no weight on this. Okay, so what we're going to do is here, going to do our 9 breaths. And now we're going to go on the other side. These are all martial arts stances. So when we get into some of the movements in the next season, we're going to be moving in the summer season after we built up our bone density last season, and we're building up our tendon strength now, and then we'll be ready. We don't want to hurt ourselves when we start moving around because our body's not ready. Okay, so we're just touching. So here we go. And then come up and pull down the heavens. Okay. One more thing that we do before we get started on the 8 Brocades is that we have, didn't want to order, we have 3 movements that we do which help our body open up to get ready to receive our practice. So the first one is called Shake the 9 Gates. So what you're doing is you're shaking your hands really loosely. What happens is we're trying to get that warmth and that energy that we created to go out to our fingertips. As we get older, energy recedes into our body, and our extremities go cold. So what we want to do is we want to reverse the process. This is part of the rejuvenation process. So we're getting there. Now what you do is you start bouncing, and my hands are still moving, but that's because my body's bouncing. I'm going in. You can either just bounce your knees, but if you can, what you want to do is you want to lift your heels just slightly off the ground and then drop down them. You want to cause a little shock wave to go through your body. That shock wave, when it goes through the bones in your legs, helps increase the bone density. That's right, Wolf's Law, look it up. And it hits our internal organs. We're trying to separate. This is trying to get our body, the adhesion out of our body, so that when we do our practice, energy and fluids can flow. So we want to break up any adhesion, stickiness in our internal organs. And we're lifting, trying to lift the shoulders, lift the rib cage off the internal organs, and then drop those down. And also we're loosely shaking. This is called it's called Shake the 9 Gates. The 9 gates are your 9 major joints. You want to open those up so energy can flow through. That's your upper, lower, and middle spine, hip, knee, and ankle, and shoulder, elbow, and wrist. Okay, so we're just there. Just do this. You can do this anytime during the day, these 3 exercises. If you've been sitting too much, this is to wake up your body. Okay, there, and then throw any energy out your fingertips. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do a crescent pose. So you're going to reach for the ceiling, and then you reach. We're trying to separate. We're massaging. We're getting the kinks out of the nervous system on one side, massaging the organs on the other, and then we're getting the spine into a crescent shape, trying to separate the vertebrae so that fluid can flow through. Okay, the other thing is when you're doing this, you want your shoulders, it's as if you're up against the wall. So you don't want to be twisting. We're working on our spine. So you're going to reach, and then you reach for the other wall. So breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Okay, there's another level to this, so that's level 1. With level 2, you're reaching, so if you're having a problem, you can just stay with that. Anytime we have multiple levels of a movement, you pick the one that you're currently at and work on that, and then slowly as you build up, you can go to the next level. So what we're doing here is, now we're inside a door, so you're going to reach. As you come over, this hand is pushing against one door jamb, and this hand comes and pushes over there. You want to make sure you're not twisting. Remember, where your shoulders and your elbow are still up against that wall behind you. So breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, and breathe in, breathe out. Pushing in both directions. Okay. And the third of this set of movements is this. Remember, this was Shake the 9 Gates. This one is called Dragon Shakes Its Whiskers. What you're doing is you're just going back and forth. You're turning. You want to kind of, what we're trying to do is turn the waist. So you want to keep the hips a bit steadier so that from the hips down you're a mountain, because we're massaging our kidneys, plus we're waking up our spine. So we're just going back and forth. Your head, your chin follows your shoulders, shaking the 9 gates. Dragon shakes his whiskers. Look, so, and then in Tai Chi and Qigong, you want to build up your mental abilities too. So what you do is you have to use your mind, and usually that entails using your eyes. So in that case, as you turn, pick a place, focus. So always do the same spot, and then if you have enough flexibility, you can actually pick a point directly behind you. Turn focus on it. Turn focus, focus, focus. We'll just do a few more of these. It's very light. Our hands can hit against, there are like a lot of meridians here. So you're waking up your meridian system, waking up your spine. Okay, all right. And there you go. So that kind of got our tendons. We did various positions, so our tendons got a little bit of a workout. You want them to be warm and a little bit more flexible. Okay, so what are we doing now? So we've been going through, the last 2 weeks, we've been going through something called the 8 Brocades. There are 8 exercises that you do. We do standing 8 Brocades. There's another set of exercises that are seated 8 Brocades. So what we do is they're working on stretching. It's good for this to do this set of exercises in spring because it entails stretching and building up our tendons. So I'll review. We've already done 6. I'll just review those quickly, and then we'll do the last 2. So the first one, of course, they're Chinese. They have to have names. So we're splitting the heaven and the earth. So what you're going to do is you're holding a chi ball. You're going to turn it over, and then, so you can see my hands. You're going to pull your hands back because it's like you're going to palm the floor and you're going to palm the sky. So you turn over, and by palming it, you're pulling your hands back, and that's working our forearms, the tendons in our forearms, waking them up. And what we're doing here is now your hands aren't just going up. You're not just doing this. You're trying to reach the heavens. You're trying to reach. So you're pushing in each direction. The hand that's on the bottom, that's pushing toward the earth, that's pointing straight forward. The hand that's on the top, that's pushing toward the heavens, that goes in the direction of your shoulders. So you're going to breathe in. You have a beach ball of energy. You don't have a little tiny ball here. Your hands are out. There's a certain distance. If you just go like this, relax your shoulders and just put your hands out like that. That's the distance normally in Tai Chi and Qigong and martial arts too. That's the distance your hands should be in the general rule. If you're in martial arts and you're fighting, you don't want to block here because they've already hit your face, right? So you want to block out here, right? Same thing. If your hands are in too much, when you're doing your Tai Chi Qigong, if your arms are in too much, everything's tight and the energy can't flow. You just want to be relaxed so everything can go through. So we're here, we're holding our golden chi ball, what are we doing? I forgot already. All right, so we're doing splitting the heaven and the earth. So we got a golden chi ball we're holding, we turn it over, and we're pressing in each direction. Okay, so you're going to breathe in, breathe out. You're really reaching. Remember, we're trying to open up those meridians, stretch our tendons. We're trying to make our tendons flexible, get them warmed up. We warmed them up by holding position. Breathe in, breathe out, and breathe in, breathe out. Okay, now that we've mastered that, we can go on. If you need more information, on our website, qoilnow.com, we have a little course on the 8 Brocades with a lesson on each one, so you can go through the lessons. We've already done these over the last 2 weeks. This is the 3rd week of doing those, so you should have been practicing those like 2 hours a day since then. So that's number 1. Number 2 is 2 hands press the heavens. So we're going to go back. This is just a warm up. This isn't the movement. If we go into our horse stance, that's about 2 shoulder widths apart. If we can, we have our feet forward. If you have ankle problems, then go up. But just remember, when you bend your knees go in the direction of your toes. So you don't want to hurt your knees. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to hook our hands together. We're going to breathe in. When we breathe out, we push, and we try to straighten our arms. It depends, whatever your flexibility is. But if you do that, if you push and straighten your arms, you feel that once again, we're working our forearms, trying to get our wrist, our elbows going. So we're going to breathe in and then breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. This is just to warm up our forearms before we do the movement, because we're using those to press the heaven. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, and then breathe in, breathe out. We're going to do 3 more because I just want to point out that anytime that you're doing any of these things in horse position and you're breathing, you can actually work on your lower body too. You're working, if you're just holding it, you're working on your lower body, because you're building up strength and determination in your lower body. But you can also breathe in and then breathe out, breathe in. Now you're also using your knees as opposed to just building up your ankles and your tendons. Now you're building up flexibility in your knees. Breathe in, breathe out, and then breathe in, breathe out. One more thing about when you're going up and down. When we say to go up and down, we mean we want your hips to go up and down. That works your ankle and gives you stability. Your back generally, not always, but generally your back stays against the wall. So you don't want to be doing this in general, because see, nothing's happening. I'm not doing anything for my lower body. You want to keep your back against the wall, and then just however far you can go. You know, you're going to be going up and down. Your back, this gets into your hips better, and your ankle, just the general alignment. Okay, as you get better, when you start, you generally can only go about this much. But if you practice, you can only, because the other thing is, your knees go in the direction of your toes, but your knees don't go past your toes, because if you start doing this, now you're going to hurt your knees. So you want to be able to get low while still keeping your knees basically over your feet. You can do it with practice, because it seems like when you first do it, you just fall over. It's very embarrassing. Okay, so we're on number 2. We got to move along because we're number 2 of the 8. We're going to do 2 hands press to the heaven. So we're going to breathe in. When we breathe in, we're going to press the heaven. If you can, you go up on your toes, because we're trying to stretch all the way back. So if you go straight up and just go like this, you're going to put a lot of pressure on your shoulders. So what you want to do is you want to turn your heart toward the sun. You don't want to lean back like this. So your lower body, you want to turn your thorax out. That's not actually massaging your spine. And now you can go more straight. See, instead of doing this, you're going out. This protects your shoulders. So what we're going to do is we're going to breathe in, push up, go up on our toes, stretch, and then as we come down, try to get it so you can see my whole body. As we breathe out, we're going to go to the side. You want to have your hands over the center of your head. You don't want to be doing this, wow, I'm getting really low, when actually nothing's happening. You're just doing this with your arms. So we're trying to work on our spine. So we're going to breathe in, and then breathe out, lean to the other side. Then breathe in, breathe out. Now you're going to turn and look over your shoulder. And then breathe in, breathe out. Look over your other shoulder, come back down. Breathe in, breathe out. 2 hands press the heavens, in case you can't remember the name. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Come back down, 1 more set, or 3 sets for the day. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe, sorry, we're leaning to the side. Breathe out. Breathe in. Now you look over your shoulder. Breathe out. You can push to get a little more. You push, and then as you breathe out, that relaxes you. You should be able to turn a little bit more, and then breathe in. So hold, and then we get here, breathe out, and get a little bit more twist. Third one is, this is the one that I tell people to be very careful about, because this is to warm up your neck and your upper body. But if you think, I'm going to really make my neck flexible, and you strain it, you can just like hurt your neck. So basically what you're going to do is one hand goes back on your kidney, the other hand comes over, and it grabs the ear on the other side. That's when you breathe in. And then as you breathe out, you look over your shoulder and you pull your elbow back. But when you do that, use that to open your chest, but don't use it to crank your neck. Don't pull on your ear, because you're going to hurt your neck. We're only going to do 3 of these. The only reason I often don't pass this, because the first couple times I did it, I was like, oh, I'm just going to really clear my neck, and then I just hurt my neck. But I'm telling you this is part, what we're trying to do is open the chest, work at our back. So we want flexibility in our sternum so that you can breathe more. If this is all tight, then we're all going to walk around like this, and then you're not going to get enough air, and you're starving yourself. You're starving yourself of oxygen. So here we go. So a lot of our movements, they're opening up, touching your shoulder blades behind, touching the collarbones. So here we go. So we're going to breathe in and then breathe out. Just turn your head gently and pull your head back, but don't engage your hand in pulling your head. I'm going to breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, and breathe in, breathe out. Okay, that's 3. The next one is the one that I do a lot, because it makes you feel good. This is actually working stretching our hamstrings in the back of our legs. We want to do that because tight hamstrings can cause like backaches, headaches. So, and you have to you can just do this a couple times a day, because you have to work on your hamstrings every day. You don't have to like go and like do it for 20 minutes, but if you just stretch. So what you're doing is called gather the sun to press the earth. So we're gathering the sun. Our hands go back, we're looking up. We gather the sun, our hands come together, and then we pull them back and put them on our kidneys. We scrub, we rub along our ribs. There's liver meridians there, so we're strengthening, activating our liver. We have our hands in our kidneys, so we breathe out. Now we breathe in. Now the important part is, so you breathe, you want to bend here. You don't want to do this. You're bending at the hips. So your back is arched. You try to touch your shoulder blades together, and your chin's coming out, and you're looking forward. So as we go down, it's like this. So we're here now. I don't know about you, but I feel it a lot in my hamstrings there. So we're breathing in. We'll stay here for a minute. You should feel it in your hamstrings. Now when we breathe out, now we bend it at the waist, because now we're going to drop our head down, unless you have blood pressure problems, any kind of, you're going to drop your head down, and your hands come down the back of your legs. There's certain meridians down there. You come up. We're going to hold. Now we're pressing the earth, so we're going to breathe in. And then as we breathe out, we come up and rub the inside of our legs. Those are different meridians. Energy. If you came to our winter thing, we did meridian washing, where you learned how to wash your body, wash your body, and it goes in certain directions. And when we did that, remember, you go down the back of your legs, and you come up the inside of your legs. That's the direction that your energy flows through your body. Okay, so here we go. Once again, we had almost a whole lesson on this. I think it was last week. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Oh, sorry. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, and then breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, Okay, so last week somebody asked me why we do the movement so fast, and the reason is I'm actually in my school. The stuff that we're learning this lesson would take like 2 or 3 weeks. And so we're trying to fit it in. We've already used up all the time, but I'm going to go through it to the end. I'm trying to keep it in 5 minutes. The reason I go through so fast is because we're compacting so much information in such a short time. But if you noticed, we're going breathe in, breathe out. Okay, so that was only like 2 seconds to breathe in. What you want to do is you want to like maybe play music or you want to count. And so instead you'll breathe in, but instead of taking 2 seconds, you'll still do the same rhythm, but you want to extend your breaths maybe up to, start with 4 seconds, then do 8 seconds. See if you can get up to like 15 seconds breathing in. Then you're like getting someplace, but you can go breathe in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you're breathing out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you can extend it. I'm just going really fast because we have so much to get through. The other thing you can do for this particular one is these 2 movements. About a year ago, I was having some problems with my back, so I just did this for 5 minutes. I got up in the morning, did this for 5 minutes, and then did this for 5 minutes. And after a month, actually after 2 weeks, the pain in my back was gone. My hamstrings were too tight, so problem is if you stop stretching them, they immediately clench up within like a month or so. So you can just do that. So it would be good. That could be your homework. You could do each of these for 3 minutes, 3 minutes, and then 3 minutes, 6 minutes a day, and there you go. Okay, we're done with the 4 that work on our upper body. The other 2 that we did is were cat gazes at the moon. We have what's called the horseback, where you're arched like a horse, and a turtleback where you're down. So what we're doing is breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, and so now what you do is where cat gazes at the moon, so your lower body, you're going to turn and gaze at the moon, but your waist is turning. See, we're standing like a mountain, so from the hips down, they don't move, and it's my waist that turns my shoulders. That's actually Tai Chi, feet, waist, hands. So we're here, and you don't want to cave this in. You're going to hurt your knees. So you want to turn, you lift the shoulder, and you turn, and you look at the moon on that side. Come back to the center, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, gaze at the moon, breathe in, breathe out. One more, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, and breathe in, breathe out. Okay, so the other one we did was King rides horse with fiery eyes. So this is moving up and down. We're strengthening our lower body because we're going up and down. Remember, keep your back against the shoulders. But what we're doing is the fiery eyes. It's the king that has the fiery eyes, not the horse. So we're building up our focus. So what we're going to do is going to go here. I'm focused on the knuckle, my big knuckle. I'm going to turn it over, and then I'm going to pull this back. So what we're going to do is it's going to come out. Breathe in, turn over the hands. Breathe out. Breathe in, turn over your hands, breathe out. But now you got your fiery eyes, so you're focused. You can tell your eyebrows go together. You look like a Japanese temple demon. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Look at that knuckle. Focus all your energy on that knuckle. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. All right. Okay, so you've got fiery eyes now. You're like mentally focused. I'm running over. Okay, the last 2. We'll do the very last one because that's it's called King Shakes His Body. But we've already done that because that shake the 9 gates is kind of like a little bit more advanced form of that. What you're just doing is you're coming up and you're lifting your heels off the ground and then you're dropping down. So you want to keep your knees, you want your knees to be rigid, but you're coming up and just dropping down as King shakes his body. If you're looking at something, when you go down, you should see whatever you're looking at shake a little bit. What this is doing is it's sending shock wave through our body. And that's, like I said, it's telling our bones they need to build up density because of the stress we're putting on, and it's kind of trying to separate any adhesion in our internal organs. All right. That's number 10, and then number 9, which I think we've actually done in some of the other lessons. It's pull, bow to shoot an arrow. So what we're just going to do today is you're going to hold out, like you're going to reach over, you're going to pull the bow back, and we're going to let it go. Okay, what's happening with the upper body? If you pull it back, this turns over, but now see it stays on the straight line. This comes to the edge of your mouth. Now somebody's pulling your elbow there, but they're pulling your fingers here. So this is, you're opening up here. So you're reaching, opening up, and then you're letting go. Reaching. So now once again, we're using the Tai Chi principle of our hands are being moved by our waist. So our hips, knees, and ankles stay steady, because what we're doing is we're twisting as we're reaching. Our waist is pushing our hands out. That's when you do Tai Chi, that's what happens. Your waist turns and your hands are just express what your waist is doing. So we're here. So when you turn, we want to turn our waist, that turns our shoulders. We're pulling back and then we're letting go. But this is supposed to be a lower body one. So what we're doing is we're reaching, so we pull back, we're sinking down, and then letting go. We're in our horse stance, come up, breathe in. This is pull, bow to shoot an arrow. Breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, and then breathe in, breathe out. Other side, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, and breathe in, breathe out. Okay, that's pull, bow to shoot an arrow. That's all 8 of them. We did it. We did it. Okay, like I said, if you go on our site, QOL, Quality of Life Now, QOLnow.com, we've got a little course on the 8 brocades. You can actually go through it. This is, I guess I should have made this an 8-week course and just done one movement each week. Next week we're just gonna go through them, and we're gonna start working on these various different postures, because the postures strengthen different parts of our body, but at the same time they're the basis. You know, like you have a horse stance, it's the basis of your movements when you're going to do Tai Chi. There's a set of movements. All the movements have to be in a certain posture, and so you have to understand the stances. Otherwise, you just, your teacher will watch you and just shake her head that she's at what you're doing. So, except for you, I know you guys are just doing great. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull down the heavens. Now this is where we pull down the heavens to start. Now we're going to leave our practice hall, return to our daily lives, breathe in,